Man.
Okay, we're a little late to get started, but welcome to Battletech Oath of Endosteel Season 2, Episode 1, 3029, although it's 3028 still. Part 6, I believe. And we do need to make a roll. Oh, I didn't do cameras.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see us anyways. Let's go.
Hey, technical difficulties.
Nobody wants to see
I just
what we look like.
completely forgot to do it while I was ecoing. Let's snap everybody into place. Look, hey, listen, if you follow this series and you don't know about our eco server, I set up my first community game server. I've never done this before. It's pretty awesome. We got a bunch of people running an eco server, mining, laying down roads, chopping trees, baking goods, hunting and fishing. We got an economy going using APGamingREAL credit. I have an infinite amount of APGamingREAL credits, so it might, but I also work really hard, and I promise not to use it.
AP bucks.
They're going to be called Babbage's bucks because we're not insisting anybody roleplay, but I'm roleplaying as Archimedes Babbage. He runs a shop called Babbage's Engines, making the difference, and no one has got the joke for that yet, but
AP is going to spend all of his infinite money on GameStop stock and tank the eco economy.
Please, let's skip that one.
Just joking.
Oh, the commentary.
Shorting is its own conversation that doesn't need to be
had here.
Yeah, dude. No. So Eric's character still has a financial analyst inbound, and I think the first thing they're gonna say when they show up is, "Don't short anything. Only a fucking idiot shorts." You have infinite loss potential and minimum gain potential. The only reason to short something is because you have insider information that's about to tank.
Yeah.
It's shorting is literally only for felonies.
That's a bold take. I'm not sure I agree with that, but
so
it's close. It's close.
I thought that the when an ammo bin explodes, you don't check to see if more stuff explodes was an optional rule. It's actually a non-optional rule. So I just checked to see if the archer set off its other ammo bin. It does not.
Bummer.
Drat.
So with one internal center torso structure, the archer struggles to its feet, standing tall after being absolutely shredded by everyone around it, losing tons of armor. And at this point, the weapons are still hot, but the mech stops moving and the cockpit opens. That's it. Let's roll for initiative. You can make your decision as to what you want to do throughout the round, but... 5.
I don't know what that means.
Eric, it's on you. Roll for initiative, buddy.
I mean, honor wise, that's a forced retreat or surrender. Like I would militarily, that means something, right?
No. Militarily, it's not a surrender until if you're capable of it, turning your guns upwardly and uncharging them. You know,
they're just opening the cockpit because it's literally too hot.
I mean, not
like rolling the windows down, convertible.
I mean, not like rules of warfare, and more like the gentleman's the pilots in World War II understanding. If the commanders want us to do whatever, we do blank.
Yeah. Sam,
when
that's something that we haven't really done well in this game.
The aerospace guys let you guys go after you save their catapult pilot.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah. Like I try to include such examples of World War I bullshittery.
But even more since the Ares stuff, you get shot, you get skirmished, you're like, all right, dude, and you go back. Like no one really fights. It's too expensive. But this person obviously has a vendetta and isn't following
the archer
those
remains
rules.
standing still.
1, 2, 3.
And I don't mean still as in they're still moving their mech around. Like they just don't generate a thing. Their mech is actually immobile at the moment.
Okay.
What
is the reading? Yeah, what is the reading?
Yeah, does the sensor say it's on?
It is on. The weapons are hot. You can see the pilot in the cockpit.
What does the pilot look like?
Okay, cool. Let's just
while we're thinking this over, I
got
can
nothing.
say
Worry.
I'm gonna not move because I need to burn off heat. Like I have 20 heat right now, so
Okay.
I'm not moving.
I am moving. We're moving first. Maybe the crab should go.
I moved first, and that's why I did the
I
archer.
forgot. I'm sorry. Yeah, we moved
that's why
second
I'm
because
saying-
we won initiative. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
Obviously.
For our second move, I should move by not moving, so that
Yes.
you guys can then do stuff.
I like that.
We're
So
gonna have
you'll
to
need
do
to move
multiple
2,
people, though.
and then I'll move
Yeah.
the Jenner, and then you move 2 again.
Maybe we can buy time by having the crab move after you, and then
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Maybe we'll see. See what you do. So your first move is archer moves by not moving.
Correct.
Yeah, and then
Our
we gotta
second
do
move
2.
is the crab. I think the crab's gonna probably walk behind, right here. What do you all say?
That could be
1,
okay.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Although I think right
can
now this thing has more armor in the back than it does in the front. But
That is
yeah,
Maybe I can hit it on its side. 'Cause what's this? The left side is the
left
exposed
side.
side, right?
Where you are right now.
I say take its back because if you like it's still less likely that you can hit the right torso or anything like that. So
Also, yeah, right. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, where you're at, you get side angle.
but, I mean,
Oh, its right side's technically still up. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, its back is probably fine. I'm just gonna go in its back. All right, so I'm. Whoa, God, I forgot. 1 second. My degrees was at 90, so I was playing a different game, and that was way too fast. I'm spinning around. That's a red 1, red 2. I think that's 3 hexes, right? Yeah, red 1, red 1.
2, 3,
Oh, wait,
4,
I didn't
5,
move.
6.
what do we do a die for not moving at all? AP, I can't remember.
No, you don't. You don't do one.
Is the Jenner retreating?
That is correct. I believe he generated enough for a +3. So he'll need to reach the edge of the map, which he can't do this turn, and then stand there for a round, and then he will retreat off the edge of the map.
Do they signal that they're
Is he-
retreating, or
is
are
he
they
sig-
just
yeah.
fleeing?
Are they bugging out, or are they?
But the proper thing to do would
Again-
be to eject from the mech, right? If you're
Again,
running
like-
away, he's trying to salvage the mech.
so there's no communication between the archer and the Jenner, except for a brief like Morse code hand sign, not hand sign, but like a light. They are not broadcasting a radio signal.
Got it.
Okay.
They've been pretty tight comms the whole time, except to use
Right.
battle language.
Look,
but now that the ECM is turned on, they don't use it at all.
Yeah, we're also been trained to specifically fight DCMS forces, and so what do we expect when we're winning a fight like this?
Let me throw this out there though. We're not winning. We still like our goal is not to clear these guys from the map. Our goal is to get to the other side of the map. So if they're gonna run away, we still have that other group that's probably coming to fight us. So I think we should just maybe consider just ignoring these guys and booking it.
Yeah, I think we determined that they're potentially not someone to fight us, but potentially not totally friendly.
There have been several theories among the fans.
Yeah.
Bassett is a really popular one.
That's a good one.
I saw one that thought it could be the Pac Charlemagne, which isn't that unreasonable either. Which is Genji, Yohei Genji's personal forces.
Team, I have armor in my legs. What if I DFA the archer?
I mean,
You do you, Eric. I've given you my opinion on what I think we should do, but I'm not going to stand in your way if you want to DFA this guy because that's awesome.
I'm probably going this way, and I'm gonna just like make my way towards the other end. But I'm gonna shoot the Jenner as they're fleeing to see if I can disable them.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of what I want to do though, like I know you're trying to obfuscate like their intentions here, AP, but I also feel like as a player, I don't really know what my character would know in this moment of
This guy is running.
what they're trying to do.
He's retreating from this battlefield.
They're bugging out. Okay.
I think you're the only one who might have any idea what's going on with the archer because you are a Dragon Slayer. You've actually served in the military.
Yeah.
She's writing a death haiku.
Oh.
Is that okay?
I know. I mean,
I don't know what that means.
Eddie knows what that
Okay,
means.
so she's basically writing a poem before she knows she's about to die, so
Yes.
that she doesn't leave anything behind.
Yeah.
So she's definitely expecting us to fire on her.
It's extremely popular among Draconis Combine samurai types, nobles, which of course she's a member of that particular class.
So she wouldn't surrender. That's not
surrender is, I think at this time, surrender is actually not in DCMS policy. Like the coordinator has forbidden surrender.
Yeah. I want to take her prisoner, but I don't know. I don't think I can
She
do
would
that.
probably kill herself.
She's gonna
She would
try.
kill
Yeah,
herself
she's definitely
before,
gonna try to kill herself. Honestly, I was thinking that there's a solid chance that she's trying to kill. She's about to kill herself after finishing the haiku anyway.
Yeah, honestly, like if they go to like not like I don't want to stereotype here, but like they have like a daishi with them, like as part of their stuff, right? Like she'll probably just kill herself.
She doesn't have the markings on her mech that indicate that she's attended one of the military academies and thus carries two swords with her. But as a theoretically landed noble, she could have them.
Then I'm not going to DFA. I feel like that's kind of rude to somebody who's doing that because I see what's happening, right?
Yeah.
And I'd say, all right,
stand down, Roselands. I'll take care of it.
and I'm gonna
Roger.
I'm gonna walk forward. It's our turn to move.
Be careful. She may be preparing for something far worse.
Mobius Swan, check your left. That's that ribbon fighter.
Yeah, so I'm gonna march my mech, like I'm gonna basically limp my mech. Half of its side is smoking, right? Like my arm's gone, going next to this mech, but I still got the axe in the hand, right? And like I'm moving in to see what they want me to do, and if they're gonna do it, like, and I'm not. Yeah, go ahead, Eddie.
Well, this potentially impacts your actions, so that's why I wanted to interject. I'm sorry for that, but the theory that I have is that there's a potential that the death haikus also lead up to a self-destruct. And you would potentially know that
as self-destruct.
Yeah, I would.
Yes,
that's
you
true.
You can set your
as a
fusion
military
engine to run
officer,
away.
you would know this.
It wouldn't blow up the same round, right? Like I would.
No, it'll blow up the next round.
Right.
Yeah. So I would have another movement.
We are
phase to move
playing with
away, right?
stack polling, so if an engine explodes in that way with a critical shutdown, it can chain explode and take you out, and then your engine will also stack pull and it chain explode. You can get a whole battlefield
don't get close to it.
full of immolating mechs.
But okay, so I'm going off of what my character's judgment here. This isn't necessarily a player. Like I assume Jasper knows what he's doing.
We'll
when
talk
he's
about
doing
it
this,
at the end
right?
of the round, the interaction between the two of you.
That this I kind of expect what happened, and now I'm kind of going to see. Yeah, so we'll talk about it. But I wouldn't be doing something that's obviously suicidal for my own character.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
I'm
why
doing something that would be
that
honorable.
that's why I was putting that out there, because I wasn't sure that if you had recognized that yet as a player.
That's all. Sorry, this should actually be our green one on.
You guys need to finish
on
moving.
Crab Man.
It's my turn.
Yep.
Okay. I think I'm actually gonna go here.
That's the space that
The
Morgan's
enemy
in.
hunchback. No, Morgan is here.
Oh, word.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, and that's the reason why I'm heading there, is because that's where I can jump to. Although I could probably run, because my goal is to pick up Morgan and then run with her down this road and shoot the generous. The flame.
I think we should focus on. Wait, why did their hunchback bail then?
Because it was almost dead and it was about to have an ammo.
Yeah, but do
explosion.
they also not have a no surrender thing? Why don't they go down with their ship?
I mean, the thing is literally a flaming carcass. Just to be a thing, like not every member of the DCMS is a samurai, right?
Right.
And some people value their lives over their honor.
And just in general, even if you tell people no surrender, some people are gonna be like, "Fuck that."
I didn't drink that Kool-Aid. I'm good. I'll just be a POW here. Yeah. Okay.
So I think what I'm gonna do is move here.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
And I'll run there. I could.
Eddie, Eddie, I'm going to interrupt you again because like this is sort of like the same logic that you're giving me. Is that like This person's probably, they're fleeing the battlefield. Like if the mission is to get off the map, maybe like we don't shoot them. Like that's also honorable. Like it's a but then again, they never said it. I don't know.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
just go do what your character would do.
Yeah. I mean, I think for this, at this point, she's going towards her objective and shooting as she goes. That's essentially her goal.
No, this is what's happening from my point of view. All of the rest of the mechs are gathering around the archer for a cutscene, but Eddie is still stuck in the background, and it just every time the camera angle changes, we see Eddie chasing the Jenner down, firing the lasers. It's incredibly distracting to the rest of the cutscene.
No, I mean the other reason why I'm going that direction is to pick up Morrigan and take her with us towards the objective. That was the other reason, because I had said at the previous round that I was going after Morrigan.
That's true. You did say that.
So
I remember.
Yes, there is a little bit of a distraction because I'm still fending off potentially dangerous Jenner.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I'm thinking. So I think I'm going to move here. I could jump here and then and still be at this angle, which then would be prepping me for a run. But if I run here. By the way, if I run across their tile, is that dangerous for them?
No.
Okay.
The tile is 30 meters on every side, and there's plenty of space for. This isn't like that Aliens prequel movie where they just run in a straight line while the giant ring is chasing them.
I'm basically ignoring that pilot, so that's what I'm saying.
All right. You just run past them.
Yeah. So I'm I think with my movement I can get to here.
Okay, that's a 5 movement.
With the trees?
Yep.
So I had to rotate.
Yep. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes.
Okay. So yeah, so I was right. Okay. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, and then next turn I'm going to hopefully Morgan like sees me coming. I'm actually gonna comms her.
Morgan, I'm going to pick you up, and then we'll head towards the edge. Or towards our objective.
She has to wait to move, right?
Yes, she moves at the end of the round.
But basically, I'm trying to like line it up where she comes towards me.
Tell me about your shooting schedule. I'm shooting nothing this round.
Okay. So, I mean, since we've gotten no word and there is a clear surrender, I'm going to try to disable the enemy. I can fire everything. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and they're within what looks like short range for everything. Shoot.
Okay, so it's 8s to hit, unless you want to use cluster rounds, in which case it's 7s.
No, 8s is fine. I don't want to use cluster. Although, is the Jenner's back at all exposed or no?
It's a Jenner.
Oh.
If you hit a Jenner in the back, it's fucked royally.
Okay.
The only thing that I think could hit a Jenner in the back and not penetrate would be an SRM or a machine gun.
Or small laser, maybe? Small laser.
Sure, a small laser. I forgot those exist. Some people build mechs that are only small lasers.
Okay.
Why?
So technically, the clan ER small laser is one of the most efficient weapons in the game, and if you throw 30 of them on a mech by taking every critical slot, you can deal a huge amount of damage at extremely short range for minimal heat exchange. But it does mean that you're an incredibly short range knife fighter who can't use things like XL engines or ferrofibrous or Endosteel.
Oh, wow.
You can't take up all the critical slots. You need it for the guns. For your mech,
Because fucking
ER small lasers don't take that much weight.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. So I'm hitting on 8s, hitting with the PPC first, and then slug LBXs.
Okay.
I think actually when Lachlan sees you just like open fire into the Jenner's back, you probably just get a slew of swear words across the comm. He's not a fan of that.
Wait, what?
What do you mean, what?
Oh, sure. I guess. Like, I mean, I thought it was like pretty. So the reason why I say what is because Anko is very versed in protocol. So like if this is something that like protocol wise, like as
I don't
a player,
think it has anything to do with protocol, right? It's not that there's some military protocol saying you shouldn't do this. It's that Lachlan is a Solaris gladiator that has highfalutin ideas about honor and glory and chivalry, and doesn't think shooting somebody in the back running away from the battlefield is what you do.
oh, I
Yeah,
see,
that checks out.
How expensive would it be to replace all of our light woods and heavy wood tokens with like cherry blossom stuff? That's not out of the question, Sidious.
The entire Heroic Heartlands are cherry
Right.
blossoms? What?
Let me go to Dunamis. I'll get him on it immediately.
All right, well I'm firing anyway because I've already said it. That one hits, so this first one didn't hit.
No, we don't have.
To be clear, I wasn't saying you were making like the wrong decision. I'm just saying like this seems like a difference between the two characters. Is like Anko is probably more of a realist than Lachlan.
Right. That's fair. That is very fair. And like I think there's like a moment of distraction as you're cursing, where Anko's just like,
We must retreat to the objective. Why, I'm picking up Morgan. Why are you upset?
and then so that one's a right torso rear hit, right? Because the 6.
I think I'll respond like as like after we get all the rolls. It's like in the moment as like either this thing is getting blown to shit or you miss.
Yeah,
so.
it is a critical hit, and that is with the LBX 10. So that's 10 damage. If it penetrates, it's critical.
It does.
This poor fucking cheddar.
Right torso.
So deeply screwed.
Ooh, right torso? Is that the SRM?
Yeah, and it's a 12
It is
critical.
absolutely the SRM.
Oh shit!
It's not going to matter because everything in there is going to get destroyed, which means the SRM bin goes off, killing the pilot instantly. So the mech explodes, and where the cockpit would be is basically a pillar of flame rising up into the air.
Yeah, so then you hear, like, as that's happening, you hear Lachlan just saying, "What kind of knight shoots a fleeing enemy in the back?"
One who is at war. This is not a time for chivalry. We are fighting for our lives to save our planet.
Now is not the time
Now
for
the
chivalry.
name drop comes down. A time of total warfare.
I think he just says, if now is not the time for chivalry, there is no time for chivalry. We'll talk about this later.
That's good.
Yeah,
oh my god.
I would have said something similar, but I'm focused in the scene. I probably don't even have my mic on, but that's really good.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You might get something for that super critical kill. Let me see.
Yeah, I think you
Fame-wise.
definitely get a killed mech, don't you?
Yeah, well, you definitely get a killed mech, but I think you might get a point of fame for the way that you kill.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if you does that kill deserve?
Kill pilot
hey.
still in cockpit. You get.
Yeah, but the fame would make sense because, like, as we said, even though like people personally may disagree, like according to the strict rules of engagement, this is as it goes.
They didn't.
Yeah.
That's true.
And that's what Anko is following, the rules of
He
engagement.
was not officially surrendered, so
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
didn't intend to either. He was retreating with the mech.
Yeah, no, like that's fair. Like if the guy didn't want, like the argument for like Anko's side is like if the dude didn't want to die, he abandons the mech the way his friend did.
Yeah. He surrenders. Yeah.
Okay, Jasper. You're as close to face as you can get with mechs, so probably about 20 to 30 feet away. Her cockpit is open. She seems to have finished writing. She pulls out a like laser pistol, which is a little unusual. I mean, it's not like they're super rare, we've established, but they are pretty unusual. And uses it to torch the piece of paper she's just written on. The paper catches fire, and then she lets it go off into the wind, and we see it sail over the treetops of the Heroic Heartlands as she just kneels down in the cockpit of her mech, waiting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would.
And
I was
she's looking
kind of,
at you expectantly, like
Yeah, absolutely. I was waiting
over the
for
top of her console. All you can see is her eyes and her top knot.
Yeah, I waited for the fire to push the the note out. I knew what she was doing. After I wait a respectable amount of time, I march forward, knowing what I need to do. And maybe I'm not sure if I broadcasted or not, right? But it's like, I was like, yeah.
Life in every breath.
And like, it'd be kind of cool if there's this part where like I'm coming up to her and like she's like ready to die as well. And like before I execute her, there's like we both say like it's the way of the warrior. Like, it's like this is how it goes.
As you approach, if you say something, she responds by saying, "These are Fujiwara lands. My family took care of them before your family ever existed."
My family's ancient.
You are not a Draconis Combine noble. You have cast aside your loyalty to the Cretans to beg for the scraps of the dogs of the Davians. You stole a planet on their behalf, and we have come to take it back. I am but one wave of the tide.
Are you finished?
She just nods.
Well, I'm Jasper of House Hiroka, and I am one of the rocks that will break your tide. You fought well.
Yeah, that's all. And then I will proceed to fucking bring my hatchet right down onto the cockpit.
And he misses.
The mech collapses and explodes.
Yeah.
It collapses in a heap with a red smear that is definitely not oil or rust on the end of the hatchet.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about experience and fame. So, do we remember who killed what? Eddie, you got a whole light mech to yourself.
That was awesome.
Yeah, good job, Eddie.
Okay, so you'll be getting...
Finally!
You'll get 1 experience for that, then you'll get 2 fame for it. Because you not only destroyed the mech, but you also killed the pilot in the cockpit.
How does that get... I actually had to create a new fame thing for Anko because that didn't exist yet.
I see. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I took down the Orion.
Yeah, I think you took down the Orion with the critical fail.
So
Yeah, the Orion's yours.
destroying the Orion is 3 XP?
I got 1 of the experience for it for partially.
Okay, so then you'll get 2, and the Eric will get 1.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see.
The
Hunchback.
I assume I get a heavy mech destroyed.
For the Archer? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you will
do we
split
get
the
help
credit
for that?
on that.
Absolutely.
How does that work exactly?
Probably
each
1
of you will
apiece.
get 1 XP. So
Yeah, 1 apiece.
Lachlan, Jasper, and Anka will all get 1 for their
Technically
part.
Badger as well.
Yeah,
not bad.
but only
I'm
Eric
leveling
gets the
Badger,
medal,
not you.
right? Only Eric
We'll talk
gets
about the medal.
right?
For you only get the medal if you get a super majority of the kill. Like it
So
has to be
pilot-
clearly your kill.
Pilot killed was fame and XP or just fame?
You get 1 XP for the mech, and you get 1 fame for the mech and 1 fame for the pilot.
God, dude. It'd be so expensive to get it animated, but the shot of me losing my arm, jumping over, and twisting an AC-10 in the torso as it explodes.
You haven't seen the
off.
latest episode of Solaris Knights, then?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so you know how you can skid when you run along roads?
Yeah.
All right, so a guy in a Centurion ran past their target, accidentally skidded an extra 3 hexes, ended up in the target's rear arc with an extra +2 to hit because of the skid, and managed to land a perfect leg shot that crippled the mech and ended the match immediately. All totally by accident. And if they had been where they intended to be, the shot would not have hit the correct location, and the battle would have continued.
Was it a Yenil Wang?
No. It was
Just
a
an
regular
AC-10 shot, just right to the knee.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's
Like
incredible.
completely crippled out. Yeah. It was
All right.
totally crazy. I mean, it's Solaris, so that's the kind of shit you come there to see. All right, so everybody gets 1 XP for surviving the mission. You get 1 XP for objective secured because you secured a prisoner. If you have 2 unused plot points, you get 1 XP. And take another XP for the Orion pilot as well.
Nice. So captured enemy.
Wait, so we get
2
XP for each of the captured enemies?
You get 1 XP for each captured pilot in this battle. In this battle only.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Can we talk about salvage or no?
Onko, you actually don't gain 2 fame, you lose 2 fame.
For killing the pilot.
No, for destroying a mech that is 2 weight classes smaller than you.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Yeah, we did talk about that right at the beginning when we
it's
first started
the
playing.
Bully Award. You get a -2 fame because you're such a huge mech taking on such a smaller mech.
But he's not an assault mech.
He's a heavy mech.
Oh, heavy versus light?
Versus light.
Heavy versus light is
yeah.
2 weight classes smaller.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Sorry. You actually end up with negative fame. Let's see.
Would that have changed what you've done, Eddie?
Maybe. I mean,
Like,
It's a
maybe
little late for
could
that.
we agree? Could we just agree that he doesn't gain fame, and then it's kind of like a neutral thing?
I mean, when you have 0 fame to start with, getting negative fame doesn't do anything, right? You're still
Yeah,
at
so
0.
you just stay at 0.
You're just
of
at 0.
25.
Oh, okay, so it's the same then.
Right.
Okay, so it wouldn't. All
it
right.
neutralizes the critical score hit and the light mech destroyed.
Correct.
So, cool, and then you still get to act as though you weren't about fame; it was about the tactical.
I will
battle.
award-
That works well,
I
actually.
will award 3 fame for the Orion kill because you got the majority of it. Like a clear, obvious majority of it.
Who's that?
That's you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I feel like you pretty much single-handedly got most of that mech opened up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I get 3 fame and 1 heavy mech destroyed?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Lackland is almost at the fame medal.
So you have access to the Heroic Heartlands immediately after this. We should do the XP now so we don't forget about it, even though obviously there's another incoming force coming. So if you need to heal all of it is on page 192 in Mechwarrior Destiny. You need to heal yourself or repair your mech, or if you would like to salvage the Hunchback,
I'm salvaging the archer.
Orion, or the Arch. The
hold
Archer
on.
is totally destroyed. You'll have to rebuild it.
What do you mean?
It had one center
that's fine.
torso left, and then you. hit
Oh
it with
yeah,
an
yeah,
axe. Yeah.
It's not. Sorry, it's just when you said totally destroyed, I thought that you meant unsalvageable.
No,
yeah,
no,
I'd have to spend. I'd have to spend
salvageable.
everything
You'll
to
have to
get it
spend
unbroken.
rebuild destroy
yeah,
unit
yeah.
costs.
That's fine.
Isn't
I
that
will-
the
yes.
same with the Orion, though?
Let me take a look at the
Fusion.
Orion sheet.
The Orion cannot be salvaged.
The
Orion's
Orion took
engine
3
cores.
fusion engine hits, so yes, it is totally gone.
Okay, in that case, Eric, can I claim the Archer as somebody who has yet to claim any of the mechs that we have taken in any battle so far?
Can I not
agree with
offer
that.
you a hunchback
No.
in these troubling times?
The Archer's mine.
Okay.
Wow, he just peacocked you on his own lands.
Sorry, dude.
Oh my god.
I'm not even gonna use. I'm using Tamari, but like.
I mean, that's a fine choice. Lachlan will remember this.
If you need to re-ammo your unit, it's 1 XP, and the heals are 2 for light medium and 3 for heavy assault.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. I'm just shoving both these mechs into the back, and I'm grabbing Tamari. I'm grabbing the Atlas. Fuck this. I'm not spending my XP.
So I will, I guess. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I fell a little bit behind because I had some juggling to do with the fame and the XP. So the Jenner destroyed gets me 1 XP, 1 XP for survival, 2 XP for this captured pilot. Was there any other XP that I got for like aiding, or any fame that I got for aiding?
Nope. You got the one from the Hunchback and the one from the Archer, right?
No, that's what I was saying. I didn't get that because I didn't catch that. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna add
I
this.
said everybody take 1 for the Archer, and then you'll get 1 for the Hunchback.
All right, so
Because that
1
was
for
a split
Archer,
kill again.
right, and then Hunchback.
So don't worry, I'm taking notes about Morgan and Badger. They'll be leveling on their own.
So I guess.
Badger actually got quite a bit of experience this battle.
So how does?
Hey, I'm glad for it.
How will salvaging the Hunchback work?
So sorry, you want to salvage the Hunchback? All right, so
Yeah,
it's
well, depending on how
intact,
much
so
it
you
costs.
only need to pay repair cost times 0.5. is 1.
So that would just
it'll
be
cost
3.
you. Yeah, it'll 3 because you got to pay to repair the mech, which is 2, and then you have to pay to salvage it, which is 1.
That's a no-brainer. I'll pay the 3 for that.
You've
No
acquired
problem.
1 additional hunchback.
I have 17 XP left, even after repairing and getting that hunchback. So it seems like a good deal.
Yeah.
You are now the proud owner of what the kids are calling a swayback.
I mean, wait, don't we have 2 hunchbacks that you could salvage technically?
Morgan is going to get her own hunchback salvage using her
That's
XP.
fair.
170 was the page, right? What's the page
I was just
for
making
the
sure that got salvaged.
For XP is 192.
92? Thank you.
So it cost me 4 to heal up the Dragoon, but
You can't actually repair the Dragoon.
yeah.
It has ferrofibrous armor, which isn't available at this time.
Cool. And my grasshopper is somewhere in the city.
Yep. You're going to have to borrow somebody's mech.
Hey, Goof.
Borrow it from Badger. You can take the crab.
Or you could take the hunchback.
You want to take the hatchet, man? Probably
No.
not. Yeah.
I mean,
Repairing
if you have anything that has the jump jets, that'd be great.
2 XP. Yeah, the hatchet man.
Yeah, except for the hatchet man. I'm not.
Then I can't help you.
Yeah.
Repair hatchet man.
Can I offer you a hatchet man in these troubling times? The fact that your answer is no is so weird.
Rebuild.
You can take the hunchback that I just captured.
Yeah.
Rebuild heavy. Costs 3 experience.
Well, I can rearm at least some of the Dragoon, right?
Sorry, rebuilding a heavy.
But I have to
You're
rearm it
doing the
too.
cost of the archer.
Yeah, to repair the hatchet man and the archer will both
So
cost
the
me
archer is going to cost 4 to rebuild, and then
1 more to
you have
repair.
to salvage. No. So rebuild is the repair, right? So it's
Oh,
going
I
to
see.
cost 4. 4 will bring it fully back, but then you have to salvage it.
1.5 will
which
also
is-
cost 2.
Yeah, so it'll cost 2,
fine.
so it'll be 6 total. But
Yep.
that'll get you a heavy mech.
Yeah, and then repairing and rearming the hatchet man will cost it 3 more, so it's gonna I'm spending 9 to get it all squared away.
That's big XP spends, but you walk away with 2 mechs.
Is anyone salvaging the Jenner?
It's destroyed, isn't it?
It's totally
Oh
junked.
yeah. You're right.
I
offer-
ammo explosion.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't intend it, but that's just what happened.
Pilot suffered an agonizing brain hemorrhage from his gyro feedback right before a flame burst out of the nuclear engine beneath him and killed him.
Wow. That's
What a way to go.
Yeah.
It could happen to anyone, especially the hatchet man.
Fighting Badger.
Badger just the crab takes a knee in the water and says, "I'm here, my liege. I have come. More mechs are approaching at the edge of my sensors. We should prepare to retreat to the Hiroka Heartlands."
Indeed.
You could tell he's
got it,
shaking.
son.
Like this is his first battle. He's junked up on adrenaline.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Well, let's take it back to the hangar.
Lachlan will
Bring
say,
the Tamari.
"Nice shooting, kid." And she's like, turning the mech around and gives her a
There is
Limping,
Han
fucking
Solo
mech's
now.
fucking limping.
Exactly.
It's like completely. It's still overheating. There's like metal slag being following you as you're walking.
It's like slowly going from bright red to just like back to the colors that it's painted.
Your ceramic metal plates are just completely fractured around. It just looks like you've just been like there's like a pile of like metal glitter, like just like a mound of it.
I like the idea that like
the broken
paint,
composites.
the paint job between like getting so overheated and like the beating that the mech took, it's just like totally warped and like color changed, and yeah, it looks like a nightmare.
Yeah.
So really, it doesn't really benefit me right now to rearm or try to repair the Dragoon because I can't.
Correct.
I have to refit it.
AP, should I repair my stuff now or should I wait until we get through whatever's coming next, just so that I keep track of where I'm at?
If you want to repair it now, go ahead and do that.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that we took this time because We're gonna do some role playing after this, and then we might have another battle start. And I don't want you guys to just be like, "Well, we forgot to repair our mechs, so now we're just walking skeletons."
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I wouldn't be, cheating by putting everything up to full, and then it's like, okay, so what were you at before?
The only shooting that will happen in the next bit will happen if you provoke it intentionally and knowingly.
Okay. Curiously,
Tough fight, Roselance.
yeah.
We fought
Now
well
we do the Nassau end battle brief music. Sorry, Eddie, I completely cut you off. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say that, I mean, that's fair because like there's, obviously we're having a little bit of a conversation afterwards. And I think Anko is definitely looking at you two saying, and like looking up at the Dragoon saying, it was a thing of beauty. Unfortunately, we do not have the technology to repair it.
No.
And without my grasshopper, I will rely on you two because I am certain that we will be facing off with more enemies.
Yeah,
Perhaps
I mean, you're
I can...
literally less than a minute away from facing down with another set of mechs, so you better decide what you're doing quick.
No, yeah. That's why I'm like looking at both of them. This is like an intense conversation where.
Yeah. Well, then that's what
quickly.
I say. I look at Badger and I say, well, that's why I've also had this crab programmed with your mind scans or Tamari's orders.
If needed, we also have a new hunchback.
You're gonna need to,
it takes time,
adjust
right?
to it.
It takes time to adjust to it. And so I'm fictionally saying that you could have the power to have the crab if you wanted it. Which would make sense. Like it actually would fictionally make
It's
sense.
the only thing fictionally that makes sense.
We would have to load the battle ROMs or whatever to like get it set up for you. Right. But but we do have your scans like ready to go because you are
gyro
family.
records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally can't remember the word right now.
I don't remember it either, but
yeah.
Logically, I think we can make it work.
Will roast me for not knowing this. In 3 years,
Badger.
Someone's gonna comment and be like, "That's right, you fucking moron."
Yeah,
and I'll be
but
like,
also,
yeah, well, guess what? 3 other people already got there before you, man.
But also, I'm completely cucking Badger.
Wow.
Like 100%. I gifted him this mech, and I'm like, yeah, but not right now, though. Which I need to talk to him about it and tell him that, like, you fought extremely well, but these are extraordinary circumstances.
I think that's actually what Anko does right off the bat. Where when
you
you
though.
Well, I'm just saying,
he's
like,
my dude,
I think the idea is more. You just said this, and Badger's probably nearby, and I'm like, in these circumstances, Badger, you fought well, but we need the best we can at this moment, and we don't know what we're facing. This is the only mech I am prepared to fight with. We will need you in the future, for sure. Thank you for coming to us.
All right, so Badger doesn't say much because he is a squire, and that's not what squires do. But climbing into your mech, Anko, you get a close-up view of Morgan's Natasha Kerensky red hair as she immediately is just like, "You're gonna steal this kid's mech? What the fuck is wrong with you? What happened to the honor of the nobles?" She takes her cockpit microphone and is like, "Lachlan, you hear this fucking shit? This kid just put his life on the line. This is his family's battle mech that was gifted to him, and this motherfucker's just gonna steal it?" She throws the mic on the ground, and you guys hear the static squelch.
I think Lachlan
She angrily straps herself into the jump seat behind Anko and is just fuming.
Lachlan is gonna he's still in the Black Knight, right? So he kind of turns as he's keeping going, and is just going to say to Anko and Jasper, he's just going to be like, "She has a point,
She's not wrong. The
right,
Dragoon is not in a shape for a future battle. I will be a liability if I fight in that mech.
So Badger says, my liege, I am but an apprentice before masters. I would offer my mech freely if you ask." Definitely just deleted that. All right, that's undeleted. Don't worry, everything will be fine.
My lands, listen, It's my lands. It's my mission. It's my rules. I understand this is unorthodox. And Badger, this will be the last time this happens.
Yeah, Badger is already strapping out of his mech.
Yeah.
At this moment, you guys see like 2 mechs and like 24 agromechs and a shit ton of SUVs approaching the pass.
I'm like super pissed. And so, yeah, I'm like, all right, let's get the Tamari up and running.
There's no way you're going to get to the Tamari in time. You guys have been like standing around talking right here. It's literally you had like 3 minutes.
Hold on. I said from the very beginning that I started going.
Yes.
The very first thing I said I did after we stopped was I was going to the objective.
I mean, are you salvaging these mechs or not? Because if you're just leaving the battlefield,
no, we are
behind,
salvaging.
Yeah, you're securing the battlefield and getting the prisoners, right?
Okay.
Fair enough.
So
fair
we
enough.
haven't. Wait, I'm
confused. Wait.
Oh, wait. So we're still in our mechs at the battlefield, even though we're on this screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, see, we're not back at like my house.
No, you're not.
I thought Eddie and I were jamming that we're back at the house.
That's what I was thinking.
This is happening right now.
The scene.
I
thought we were all in the mech still.
My bad.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So how?
Oh, well
You're
then.
definitely all in the mess.
Then no, I'm not going to make people switch out of their. That's no way. I'm sorry. I that's what. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, there was a confusion of the scene. I think that's.
Yes,
I would stay in the Dragoon because that's the only place that makes sense.
Right. We'll get to the Dragoon scene later, and of course, he will offer his mech freely once again.
Okay.
Let me just make sure I'm not doubling up anybody's mechs here.
Grant, I'm glad because I would hate to have gotten on Morgan's bad side.
This is Morgan's mech. Okay, you've got a copy of
Morgan hates everybody. That's kind of
not
her
even
thing.
remotely true. Morgan is such a sweetheart. Well loved by everyone on all sides.
Except for
I didn't say that she wasn't well loved. I said that she doesn't like the other people. It's a big difference.
That might be true. I'm sorry, I'm doing a little bit of post-battle organizing to make sure all of our mechs are in the correct place.
Okay.
So would we say this is okay? That's what we're.
So I'm putting the auxiliary forces in their own area so we don't lose them.
Perfect.
And I did seem to have lost a hunchback sheet somewhere. The swayback. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's your swayback now. So you do what you want with it.
Congrats.
And let me save this so just in case there's no problems. And then we'll get back to the scene in motion. You all can detect. Does anybody have like heraldry or sigils or something like that? Some sort of skill. I would also accept protocol.
Oh yeah,
or any sort of political knowledge.
I have knowledge heraldry.
The other thing I would accept at a very low difficulty would be some sort of tech roll to identify the serial numbers on the mechs approaching you.
So I have. Hold on. Okay, go ahead. You go first.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have protocol. I have the ECM.
The ECM does nothing for you in this regard.
Okay.
The ECM makes it harder for everyone around you to do what you're trying to do.
Oh, got it. Sensors is what you're saying. Yeah. And then I have tech empathy.
The thing you want is a Beagle Active Probe, which is like an super expanded sensor suite.
Oh, got it.
What was the last one you said you had?
I have tech empathy.
That's
not a tech roll. Yeah.
Right. I don't know what that means.
No, but if you have a technical skill, I will allow you to make it. Tech empathy means you have +1 for non-combat technology tests.
No, you have to pick one field.
What'd you get, Eric?
Oh, God.
11 plus 2, 13.
Okay. You identify the incoming mechs as having sigils related to an organization called Wolfhound, which is the personal militia of Sebastian
Bassett.
Fucking knew it.
Okay, wait, hold on. What were the rules? I want to see if I know.
So
if luck. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter.
We're still on the battlefield. So how are our mechs rearmed and repaired?
They're not.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Hasn't happened yet.
He said
it's literally been like 3 minutes.
Gotcha.
He said he wanted us to spend
I wanted
it now.
you. Listen, the only way you're fighting Bassett here is if you guys are like, "No, fuck you, Bassett, leave." And he's like, "All right, I'll leave." And then you're like, "You know what? I'm gonna kick your ass out the door." Yeah, Bassett is not here to fight you. Just to be clear, I just wanted to make sure that the mech repairs were done, so we don't forget about it.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So you get communication saying unidentified forces. This is Hound 6-1 actual. Identify yourselves. Be destroyed.
Hound 6-1, this is Jasper Hiroka. You're in the Hirokan lands.
This
And
is
the rest
Hound
of the Oath of
6-1.
Endosteel.
Recommend using call signs.
You would have said Rose probably. You would have been
They
who
would
Rose
no.
is.
Roses
Oh,
are operational code.
Right,
So this would be
okay,
call
so
sign.
Huntsman.
So then
Huntsman.
I say like very passive aggressively.
All right, understood.
Like-
Huntsman, requesting permission to bivouac with your group.
I don't respond to them. This is the internal comms to the rest of the group.
Okay.
This guy's an asshole. What do you want? They're requesting the camp with us. Do you want to deal with that shit or not? What do you say, you all? If we're too tired, I'm fine with it.
I said
Need to rest.
I said it before this fight. Now is not the time to make enemies with Bassett. Gotta play nice.
I agree.
Huntsman,
Copy that, Wolf 6-1,
This is
requesting-
6-1.
Wolfman 6-1 actual. Yes, coming in. You're requesting bivouacking with us, correct?
That is correct.
Affirm.
You did not respond.
Sorry, we engaged with forces. Our comms are
On the fritz.
subpar.
You run your leather glove
Permission.
over the comm, so it makes a crackling noise.
Permission granted, Wolfman 6-1.
It's Wolfhound.
Wolfhound.
I like that he said
No,
it wrong on
I
purpose.
deliberately said it wrong because I hate this guy.
Wolfman.
Yeah, so his forces just enter into a triangle formation behind him. They echelon and they echelon on either side of him, so it's like a wake.
Yeah,
Okay.
flying V.
And in between, like in their wake, come the SUVs loaded down with guys with guns, pickup trucks that have obviously been reinforced hastily with, what are those phone books and 50 cals, iron plates, whatever you could grab to just hastily form a not die into Cretan infantry gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they follow you back to the Hirokan Heartlands. You make it back to your manor. It's basically abandoned. After you fired your entire staff, the newcomers are still arriving, and they do not have the same level of loyalty that your life-bound blood debtors did. And so when the area was invaded, they all surrendered or ran away immediately. You just have
that's
warehouses, empty warehouses with no food in them, filled with agromechs that aren't doing anything.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
fair.
a
I'm gonna have to deal with
timing
this.
bummer of a timing issue there. Not gonna lie, could not have come at a worse time.
Well, they could not have attacked at a worse time, but you're welcome. I'll see what I have in the fridge. As ironically. Yeah.
Wait, are the food
thing-
stores empty? How's
When I
that?
say food,
No, like my grain.
yeah,
like,
his granary
Oh.
silos.
He means granary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Or
Listen,
I'm not going to get into it from the stream last night about silos.
Jesus, yeah.
Sorry.
We had like a 5-minute conversation about the definition of the word silo on Rogue Trader. It was crazy.
All right.
Yeah, so Bassett uses his left arm, which is his cybernetic arm, to descend on a rope ladder. He still looks like he walked out of handsome gentleman firefighter, rogue bad boy, beardy guy, mid-30s, but cyber arm calendar, right? Like, even with his hair matted down and that sort of bleach blonde with the roots growing in, he still kind of looks like he's a fashion model. And he approaches the three of you and says, I'd like permission, Jasper Hiroka, to use your mech resources. You'll be reimbursed, of course, but my people need repairs. As you can see, my wolfhound is less of a wolfhound and more half a hound. Grasshopper's not in particularly... I'm sorry, the Zeus isn't in particularly good shape either. I'd also like to sit down and talk information. I have some idea of what's going on.
Oh, good. My house is yours for the time being.
I'd like to speak with you privately first, Jasper, before I brief everyone here.
Raised eyebrow from Lachlan.
Yeah.
So we have pretty cold relations prior to this. So I'm going to lead in close to him privately.
That's only from
go.
your point of view. He's never had an issue with you. You're just being a dick to him.
Sure, and so I'm going to lean into him like
everyone else.
I imagine sort of like the forces are around, right? Like they're kind of like forming the backdrop of the scene, but the shot's still like kind of close face to face, and we're still wearing like our cooling jacket suits.
Wow, we got a hill of came on this. Someone's going to see a snake and draw a sword to kill it.
What? No, I'm just going to lean in close to like I'm trying to talk to him privately and only try to talk into his ear, and I go like, what is it, man?
I was hoping we could sit down over a cup of something warm, but okay.
About what?
We need someone to lead our forces, and I was hoping that you'd be capable of doing it, but I want to make sure that you're in the right mindset to do it. We haven't always met eye to eye, and
while he's talking, I put my arm around him and like have like a cheer like thing, like so like it kind of looks like we're
okay.
We're good.
Well, yeah, like all of his guys. You could tell that like, yeah, you guys have been in a fight or two, right?
Yeah.
You got to sleep at some point. These guys have not. They've been fighting the whole time. So when they see the two of you together and that they're obviously going to be fed and watered, their cars gassed and their bullets replenished, they're like, the resistance has begun!
Whittington.
Everything we fought for is worth it.
Yeah, for Whittington kind of thing, right? And like
I mean, it's literally like 200 guys plus a handful of pilots, and they're all losing their minds with happiness.
I'm willing to spare no expense here, as far as like making sure I bring out all the good stuff, anything I have available for these folks, making sure everyone's taken care of.
So a lot of ethnic Islamic food left over from when you're
and then of course primary beer.
All halal, but
primary,
it's great.
So much primary
kegs of primary beer.
Did you hear that primary vodka made its way onto Solaris in 3052?
Awesome.
Someone's been running primary vodka ads whenever they're on screen.
That's so good.
I love it.
I love it.
So like transcends time and shows.
I would happily give them the stuff that they want,
Okay. You could tell that he is appreciative, personally.
Yeah, and like we can have the private conversation.
All right, yeah, so he sits down with you over a cup of hot tea and says, you seem to have a problem with me, Jasper, so let me just be extremely forward. I've tried to be allies with you in the past, and you've rebuffed me on several occasions. I don't hold it against you. I don't understand your reasoning. Obviously, Lachlan and I form a strong political bond, and that together we have led this little soiree, and our wives are all friends. I don't know what our problem personally is, but for me it always comes back to that Kerensky ball and your views on Amaris. And allow me to just say outright that this is where my issue with you leading our forces lies. Whether Amaris and Kerensky, whether Kerensky's leaving solved a problem or caused one, 80% of the standing armies of the Inner Sphere breaking their oaths, leaving their honor behind, is critical.
I'm pouring him a drink right now, like
he encouraged the largest mutiny of all history, and he did so by tempting families, not citizens, not the regular people, just the families of military officers beyond the edge. And that is why Kerensky is not a particularly great man for me. I'm not here to tell you that Stephen Amaris is somehow a great man, but Kerensky is not as great as one might believe.
I slide the glass over to him, right?
And like, you shatter the glass and stab him with the handle. It's like,
it's a rocks glass, right? It's a tumbler, right? It's a rocks glass. I hand him over the scotch that we're drinking, and I say, "Wow, look, Bassett, I know you were homeschooled. I know I don't pretend to know exactly where you were trained, but perhaps we should leave the military history to someone who studied and wrote a dissertation in military history at the military academy, buddy."
This is not a dissertation on military history. It's a study and dissertation on history, politics, human influence. And if you think that you somehow exceed me in that category, you might want to take a seat, young man.
Military history is human history.
I think he just rolls his eyes. I mean, history is literally the thing he's responsible for on this planet. It would be like him coming to you and being like,
dude,
well, this is how you
DJ.
farm fields.
This dude's a DJ, and I like am literally a formally trained like officer who went to the best schools available. And you're gonna tell me that like this, like he's like trying to tell me anything about like fucking like Grant's strategy in the Civil War. And I was like,
you both have good reasons to condescend each other about this.
Yeah, for sure.
From
your
perspective.
Listen, are we gonna do this all night? Should I get out some heavier drinks, my friend?
All I want to know,
where I'm trying to change the course of where he wants to go.
It's just about honor. I am concerned that you may fulfill the self-fulfilling prophecy of Kerensky and lead our men into a battle with no victory and no retreat. That you may break their honor and destroy the planet in the process. Yes. I just want to know that you have the best interests at Whittington at heart, rather than the best interests of your military career. Your personal interpretation of honor.
Rest assured, Sebastian, I'd never ask anything from anyone I wouldn't be willing to do myself.
That is deeply concerning.
I would give anything for Whittington's safety and protection. More than I would give up my own honor. This is something I care more. Maybe not my daughter, but these are things that I value more than my own life. Rest assured, I would never do anything for vanity, for my own honor. Whittington is more important than myself.
All right, make a persuasion roll.
I don't think persuasion exists in this game.
But we'll figure out what the correct skill. You know exactly what I mean, motherfucker.
I think it's negotiation.
It's negotiation. I would also accept
you come
leadership.
To me, and besides Sebastian, who else are you talking? Like, who else would you have lead? You came here to me.
Oh boy.
Snake Eyes!
You just got Thanos.
Yeah, dude.
I am inevitable.
Do we have our edge back because the battle ended?
No, I'm fine. I failed my persuasion roll.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's even better that I failed it. I'm going with it.
So he takes a sip of the tea and says, "This is
what does he demand?
Good tea.
This is whiskey.
It's good whiskey in my tea because I obviously have hot tea with whiskey now."
Okay. We're drinking. Oh yeah, it's called a hot toddy.
Not quite the same thing, but okay.
That works.
Yeah, so he stands up with the cup and moves to walk back outside and says, "I cannot allow you to lead my forces, but I will repay whatever debt I incur here. And since it seems you're breaking out the good stuff, I'm sure the debt will be substantial. But rest assured I can pay it. My forces will not march alongside yours, but perhaps we can march in alliance. And let's have an information gathering. I've gathered much information in the last 24 hours.
I was fighting in most 24 hours. I'm not sure how much information I'm able to glean.
I've been fighting the whole time. We've been retreating across half the planet.
Yeah, well, I fell from space, so.
Yes, I heard about that from your pilot.
Yeah. So. We're deliberately one-upping each other. Like,
I mean, let me be clear.
I kind of defended the space.
You guys
force,
landed on the planet and got a chance to take a nap and rearm your mechs. Like, again.
Yeah, well,
we did not rearm our mechs. I'm sorry.
Because my job was harder.
That's true. No, but the other mechs did. Morgan and Senya's Phoenix Hawk got rearmed and repaired.
But this is a point of pride right now with me and Bassett.
Right.
So like we're doing like that sibling. Yeah, well, but I also did
Bassett isn't trying to one up you though. He's just telling you what's happening, right? He doesn't care about this one-upsmanship. Like you can keep doing it, but he's not going to get baited into it because he doesn't give a shit about it.
All right. Well, I do. So
yeah, so he has his people set up a tent with like prefab tables and chairs, ammo crates that are just being used as like seats. Who's present? Obviously Bassett is here. None of his other men are here though. He doesn't bring anyone else with him. They appear to all be like exhausted and sleeping.
I would like to be here,
sure.
but during the like time period where they were off having their private discussion, was there long enough that like Lachlan could be trying to like get in contact with his sort of network of people on Whittington?
So the issue is that the Draconis Combine is either jamming or destroying all of the communication satellites and replacing them with Cretan ones. So
I guess, like, is there anything productive Lachlan could be doing to like get information or like get in contact with people while this is happening?
Are you willing to risk hooking your phone up to an open network without encryption services? Yeah.
Probably
you don't know
not.
You don't know how good they are at intercepting these kind of signals, and this might be the only chance you have to give them orders.
So I do in my
inventory
tempt
you
have an encrypted communicator.
Yes.
That help us.
Will that help us?
It will help you, certainly, and anyone that uses it. I point out the other side also needs to have a encrypted communicator, though.
Right. So, I mean...
Decrypt the message.
Right. So...
It's really only going to work with Seppuku operatives around the world.
Which, that's kind of our thing.
That's solid, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know that Lachlan can do a whole lot then, so I guess I'm just here then.
Well, I think that's one of the things that I wanted to propose is that I wanted to talk to Lachlan because right now you're the only vouch for me in this moment of like I am not a traitor. So I think there's a conversation to be had of.
I'm so glad you remembered that.
Oh yeah, of course I did. And I think Anko approaches you, Lachlan, and with a moment's respite, it seems fair that we should discuss my current circumstances. I know there is tension between us. Well, between the lands. And I do have potentially a means of communicating, but with others and gathering information. But the last time I tried at your home, it was difficult. I am, of course, at your disposal as a lance disposal. Disposal? Yes. But I am worried that we are going into battles with little or no information, and I am now without a guard, my dragoon, or access to my other mech that we could use in battle, the grasshopper.
I'm unclear on what you're looking for from me here, Anko. I have already said I'm happy to let you use the hunchback if you can get situated in it in time, though time is at a
Indeed.
bit of a Anyhow, if you have a way to contact your people securely, I would recommend that you do so.
I figured you may want something from that, so that's why I came to you.
Any information you can get, I'd be happy to hear, and I'm sure would benefit me as well. If you can find anything out about what's going on around the spaceport, I think that's probably of critical importance to the entire planet.
Indeed, and if I believe the Seppuku compound is near there as well, and if we can find information around it, it will be tough, but if we can reclaim a segment of that area and I can gain access to my grasshopper, that would also be very beneficial to us. But of course, that is until we can. Give me a moment and let me see if I can reach out to my people.
Okay, I need you to make a leadership test.
Okay.
The difficulty is 13.
Okay. That is 13 exactly.
Okay, that's really good. So, someone you know picks I don't want to say it's their ninja name, but like their working operative handle is Cypher. And when they pick up, they say, "This is Cypher. Who is this? Authorize yourself."
Do I have a code name yet?
Dude, you tell me what your code name is. You're the head honcho.
Oh, sure.
Big boss.
Yeah, no, that's too obvious.
Diamond hands. To the beard.
I didn't think about this. Oh, wait. No, I had
Flechette.
this is magician.
Magician. Magician. Shit. The network's compromised, ma'am. When we hired new people to help take up the slack, you'll recall we did that about 2 years ago.
Indeed.
Several of them appear to have been, I think they must be ISF agents.
Of course.
They are disrupting the network. They're killing anyone they can get their hands on and claiming they're doing it in your name. House Sabaku is defecting to the Draconis Combine. I'm trying to gather the loyalists. I have a core here, and I can get in contact with more. But I'll do what I can to counteract the propaganda and neutralize the Combine. Tell me what you need.
I need any information you can gain me of the spaceport, or of the Sabaku compound. Is the grasshopper still there?
Yes, I'm here now. The Caretans, I believe, are going to be occupying it sometime in the next 10 to 12 hours. They've sent a small force out this way. The spaceport battle, there are rumors about it all over the place. The city is a hotbed of fighting. Some say that Sebastian Bassett Latour was forced out of the city after he shot down a dropship. The damage here is catastrophic.
Oh dear. Make sure you stay safe. See if you can lock down the grasshopper. And would there be like a
Well, you're gonna have to give a command codes. How much do you trust Cypher?
No. So I think like, would it be fair to say that there narratively that there's a protocol to lock down the mech bay in the compound, or like the mech storage area?
I mean, what do you mean by lockdown?
Make it hard for enemy forces of gaining access to the mechs.
A mech with a PPC acting as a blowtorch is going to be able to get through a door eventually.
Got it.
You might be able to slow them down for a couple of hours. They're going to take a lot longer cracking the mech, right? Because they need to override your security protocols. But actually getting inside, probably not super difficult if no one's defending it. Which is what Cypher says. Basically, like, we can defend it with our lives. This kind of work is what your family has trained us for generations. Booby traps, blind ambushes. The house's defenses can be activated. We will make them pay for every meter they step forward. Just give the word.
That is definitely something that would be worthwhile, but I'm also...
I'll remind you, ma'am, that we also have a Stuka here, and air superiority is of critical importance in this battle, it would seem.
Indeed.
We are prepared to die for you.
If you can hold out for some time, for at least a little while, I will see if I can muster some forces to come retrieve at least our assets.
I think we can hold out for at least a day or two, depending on how hard they push.
Do your best. I have faith in you.
Very well. I'll be in contact when we learn anything.
Good work, Cypher.
All right,
Be safe.
Cypher hangs up. At this point, you see that Sebastian's people have finished setting up his bivouac tent.
Okay. I think I go to Lachlan first, and I just kind of give him a little bit of a report of, it seems that the spaceport has been fought over for long times. And did you say that like a dropship came in and crashed into the spaceport? Did I hear that right?
You heard from Cypher that they believe
there was rumors about this.
Shot down a dropship, and if you shoot down a dropship, it will crash.
Right.
If you shoot down a dropship in a city, it will crash into a city.
Right. Okay.
A leopard class?
they didn't mention anything about it.
Okay.
Union.
Didn't say anything.
Is that a war crime?
Shooting at a dropship isn't a war crime.
It isn't?
No.
So,
I mean, if they were like, all right, we're going to intentionally crash this dropship, if Sebastian's evil plan was, I'm going to wait for someone to attack the planet, then I'm going to shoot down the dropship.
It's a crime to shoot jump ships, not drop ships.
Yeah, well, it is a crime, but yeah. Like, what are you going to do about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, if someone shoots a jump ship, you're never going to hear about it, right? No one's ever going to be like, well, there's like 20 witnesses. Let me just blow up this jump ship.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just remember on the other side of that like, the protocol is that the jump ship surrenders immediately if they get under attack. Like, except in the case of pirates, that like if they are under military attack, surrender immediately is pretty much their only choice. One medium space laser is not going to hold off an aerospace fighter.
So I think so Anko goes to Lachlan and kind of, I was able to reach one of my operatives. They told me that the spaceport is likely severely damaged, and there are many rumors around what actually happened, but it seems Bassett did and his crew take down a dropship that fell to the city. If we can get to the Seppuku compound within the next day or two, I have my people protecting it with their lives. The Draconis Combine are coming for it, but we have a Stuka and my Grasshopper. And was there anything else that I had? I have like a bunch of other tanks, I think. No. Definitely have the Stuka and definitely have the Grasshopper, and I have a couple other things. You gotta
tell me what you have.
I've got it. I've got it. I think
you might have bought like
I got a High Scout, a Maxim.
The High Scout is what I remember.
I got the High Scout, the Maxim APC, and 2 Hover APCs.
Okay. Well, you definitely don't want those falling in the hands of the Combine. Like,
yeah. So I'll say that
tanks, I think, and that's it.
Yeah. But your place isn't in
your place is an armed fortress right now. It's probably one of the best defended locations on the planet.
My place? Yeah. I thought that they had my estate, and I had to go to Xenia.
No, your wife is defending it with her Phoenix Hawk.
I thought that was Xenia's estate.
Oh, yeah. No. All of your force, as I mentioned, Xenia and Morgan led all of your on a retreat back to the Menshikov estate.
Right.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
So they brought the Behemoth and the LRM carrier with them.
Yes. Yeah. So it's one of the best defended locations on the planet right now. When you put heavy assault tanks in a defensive location and give them Battlemech backup, not bad.
Yeah. So I tell Lachlan this.
Are you doing it while you walk up to the table with Bassett?
Yeah, I think it's like just before we get within earshot of the table, and I let Lachlan know kind of what's the scoop of the situation and the potential next step in. And I say, I think it would be wise for us to attempt to retrieve those assets, as it is a small army that could benefit us. Unfortunately, there is turmoil within the Seppuku family, and some have defected to the Combine. It seems there were operatives that were planted there far before this occurred.
Very well. Seems reasonable to me. Any news on Genji?
I didn't specifically say that, but I was asking for any information about like the situation from Cypher.
So maybe like Lachlan says that like as we're arriving to the table, so he just like asks it to the group.
That makes sense.
Okay. Your boy goes, yes. Let me do it in order, chronologically, I think. Let's take a seat. This is going to take a little while. So he begins laying out maps and photo reconnaissance, and he says, I heard from Audrey. She led you, she technically stole someone else's dropship, a Leopard, and delivered you up into space, and you had your own adventures up there, but she came back down and has been using that, again, stolen Leopard to coordinate our air response. Sounds like things are in a stalemate up there, but it's pretty bad. There was a dropship that attempted to hot drop my position, a Fury class. That's it's a infantry carrier with light combat vehicles. My combined forces poured fire into it, and as it began spilling tanks out the side, Savannah Masters, by the looks of it, they died. Looked like SRM infantry jumping out, seeing if they could survive the 100-foot fall. I've never quite seen anything like it. Threw us all off our feet when it landed. Heard that another Leopard got shot down in orbit. You know, our local strategy is to spread forces across the planet to stop raids, which means that they're not in a great position to help us now. But I understand that Major Garcia is bringing the military together, the, regular military together, and I expect that she'll probably continue to do a guerrilla fight out there, pulling Caritans away and trying to take things back. So that leaves the forces on planet the Lake Rheinkoltz. I understand that Sir Lake has reactivated his old personal infantry company, Inferno SRM company, and he has his own Battlemaster and of course his personal Lancelot, and he has that SDLF Lancelot that appeared out of nowhere a few months ago, rather mysterious. Yohei Genji is somewhere on planet. Pax Charlemagne, to the last of my intelligence, had a lance of heavy mechs, a company of infantry with mechanized support, a company of tanks, and 6 aerospace fighters, which, given what we have in our local personal defense forces, the military, it's probably an even air battle. It's going to be down to if the dropships can make a difference. I earlier said that Bassett came with a Grasshopper and then a Zeus, but it's actually a Rifleman. So Bassett gestures to Riflemen, 8 agromechs around the Wolfhound and the agromech, and 12 more following the rifle. Sorry, 8 around his Wolfhound, 12 following the Riflemen, and then a few dozen SUVs with, people sleeping on tents outside that were clearly just crewing them. And he says, and I brought Wolfhound. Several of my pilots fell during the battle. One of them was crushed under the dropship. 2 more ran away, so we'll need to execute them later. I think that the honor of a knight doesn't extend as far as it used to, and I lost the rest of them in battle. It was their first combat. So, from what I can tell, the enemy landed 2 more Leopards, a Leopard CV filled with aerospace fighters, and a few more mech lances, and an Overlord, which means a battalion of mechs.
Full battalion.
Yes, and there might be a Condor. There were rumors that a Condor-class dropship was sighted somewhere on the far side of the planet. So probably a battalion of infantry and a battalion or a company of support vehicles to carry them wherever they need to go.
Yeah. Sounds like we're a bit outgunned on the ground then.
You have no idea. And he puts out a photo on the table that looks kind of like this, and he says, we're calling it the Nightmare.
Is there an actual photo?
Yes.
Am I missing the photo? Okay, I thought it was something I was supposed to be seeing. I'm like, wait.
It's going in Discord now.
Oh, okay.
Cool. NeoBuzzer's been waiting in the Age of Middle Earth for this. I asked him to make these. So if you're wondering on the video, check the description section now for the Nightmare. It is a Atlas with King Crab arms, which I asked him to make.
Oh boy.
So if you guys capture this mech, I'm going to have NeoBuzzard send you this model that I had him make.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
That's cool.
Oh man, this thing is dope. I want it so bad.
So that means it's an Atlas with dual AC-20s.
Yes.
I want it.
It is a customized Atlas.
Oh god. I love
Wow.
the AC-20s.
All right.
So there's something about the paint job that catches your eye, and I think the only person who automatically recognizes it is, of course, our only Dragon Slayer. I just want to ask, do either of you, Anko or Lachlan, keep regular knowledge of, like, enemy awards?
I mean, I have no politics, so maybe.
Okay.
And also Lachlan's like kind of obsessed about like decorative, he was a Stellaris gladiator, so it seems like the kind of thing he would care about. Who's the biggest hotshot?
Okay, so you recognize this paint job. Seppaku, what do you got? Was this something you recognize?
No longer Seppaku. I am Anko.
Well, that's...
I know.
Anko Khan.
Anyway,
Well,
I know.
Your marriage hasn't been recognized by the government yet because there is no government.
I know. Well, either way, I do have Streetwise, but
no, that's not going to help here. I'm not asking about skills per se. I'm just asking, is it reasonable for you to have known about this military award? In the same way, I could be like,
probably.
Well, do you know what what the star of the first citizen is, or something like that, or what like a Russian military award? Like, if I said that, would you know what it is?
I think there's like some level of yes, because of the information gathering.
Okay,
like,
then you all
Seppaku.
recognize this. So the planet you live on was once a member of what's called the Galadon Military District, which is one of the sub branches of the Draconis Combine. It's generally considered one of the most militant areas because the Suns and the Draconis Combine have fought constantly. So Galadon is the Suns facing. It's their Draconis March essentially. They have an award that they only give to one person every year called the Foundation of Galadon, which is given to a soldier in recognition for extraordinary courage and bravery to the Pillar of Steel, which is the ideals of Bushido and the military.
Yeah.
The award is hung from a blue and silver ribbon consisting of a black pillar around a silver dragon. Anyone who bears this award is allowed to make blue and silver bands on their arms, wings, turrets. So this mech bears the Foundation of Galadon, which means that this pilot is not a fucking joke.
Yeah, got it.
The other thing is that a mech this unusual, also bearing that, you probably should know the pilot, but none of you have any idea. You've never heard of this mech before. It's so unusual, someone would have remarked upon it.
But you've never heard of it.
Never heard of it. So either this person is false flagging, right?
Yeah.
Or you have no idea what's going on.
So curiously, you said Pillar of Steel.
Yes.
I mean, that's in the what is it? The book, right? The book, or part of because I think the Seppaku family is part of one of the other pillars, if I recall.
Yes, you are. Well, I mean,
I'm trying to remember like backstory.
Yeah, so Draconis Combine has 5 pillars, right?
Right.
And Steel is the military, and there's one for technically your organization is military intelligence, so it would have fallen under the Pillar of Steel.
Oh, okay.
But you know, like there's a lot going on in the Draconis Combine. They have a complex society.
And that was like back before the Seppaku family moved to the Draconis.
I mean, your other house, the Mono no Kete version of the Seppakus, are part of the Pillar of Steel. Well, they're setting you up right now, but yes, they are part of the Pillar of Steel.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah,
so I would definitely be knowledgeable of that because of that.
Yes, he shows you guys this shit, and it's not a joke. Like he says, I personally fought this guy from range. He's good. He's very good. He might be the best pilot I've ever seen, and I'm even in my prime, and he clenches his silver chrome. But I want to be clear that in the reflection of his arm plate, he's looking at Anko as he clenches. And maybe none of you see it, right? Because you're not going to see the same reflection as him, but he's looking at Anko as he clenches his metallic fist.
Sure.
And says, even
hating
in my
me
prime,
for my brother's choices. Totally. That makes sense.
Welcome to feudalism.
Yeah,
Grab arms on an atlas.
I love this mech so much. I want it. I fucking want it.
Personally designed it. You're welcome.
I do not want it.
Neo Buzzer put some work in on this bad
I mean,
boy, too.
it's amazing. I shudder to think about what it can do.
That's a scary mech. Lachlan is just gonna kind of nod as he's like absorbing all this information, and he'll say, I was talking with Anko before coming in here. She made a good point, which is that if if and since we are outgunned, maybe worth trying to deny the enemy forces the ability to pick up more hardware on Seppaku lands, both the Grasshopper and a Stuka, as well as a number of infantry vehicles could be useful to all of us.
That's a hard march when we already need repairs. I also believe that there is a place where you could do good along the way.
Oh?
There's a distress call coming from the city. If you skim the south side of it, you might be able to still make it to the Seppaku lands in time. There was a convoy heading south on the highway that got hit. Several media personalities were on board that were captured, and I believe they're slated for execution. Some tankers out there are requesting assistance to get them back, but they're not getting any answers. My people are exhausted, and honestly, if you would allow it, I think we should abandon the agromechs in your agromech bins and just pretend that they're still regular farm equipment. They were not as effective against Battlemechs as I would hope, although it was thoroughly invigorating to watch what they could do to infantry.
Yeah, Lachlan will nod and he'll say, as far as I'm concerned, that should be a good first priority then. Letting people of Whittington be executed en masse is not what we need in this moment.
Agreed. And it is on the way to an objective that makes sense.
I can hold the Hiroka house while you go. This might be one of the only functional mech bays we have left, and my people need serious repair. I lost almost 2 lances of Battlemechs, 4 to enemy fire and 2 to cowardice, and a whole company of agromechs. My people could use a rest. If you trust me, Jasper, I will hold this place until you all return.
I think there's definitely a shared look.
He actually looks nervous. Like, he's afraid you're going to say no, and that will be the end of the planet, right? Like, if you say... And just to be clear, he doesn't normally give off emotions, so this could be total bullshit.
Here's the thing. Like, out of character. Could I just play Sebastian Bassett for a round and he does this mission? Would you let me? Was that on the table?
No, Bassett doesn't want to go on the mission. Bassett is exhausted.
Yeah, well, I'm going to make him go on the mission, and I'm going to play.
He doesn't want to go on the mission. He wants to send you on the mission because I'm trying to get you to go to the guest star for next week.
Oh, that makes sense.
The tanker group is one of our guest stars.
Got it. Okay.
I'm trying not to say that because now it sounds disingenuous.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, well, that's fair.
There's gonna be more pop-up
mistakes.
But also, it seems pretty likely that Jasper would like to stay home in the Tamari and defend it all, and like to help everyone here. And then we could play. I could play Bassett going off.
You could play Badger.
I think maybe like to help.
But no, I would love to go then if that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, to throw like a potential wrench in, like maybe like in the moment that Jasper hesitates, Lachlan says, "I understand that your men need rest, and this may tie into a larger conversation. But in the mid to long term, I do think we should seriously consider picking one estate, one location." And trying to make as much as we can, try to consolidate our forces as much as we can.
I think it's here. Is there any other estate?
Xenia has been able to successfully hold her estate. She was able to bring everybody from the city and my estates, as well as 2 tanks. We could move all of them over here as well. There's potentially a better farming situation if it does become a protracted siege.
Okay. I would like you to make a roll. I will accept investigation or perception. No, it's perception for sure.
I have perception.
Okay, you're rolling against his disguise.
I have a 6 plus 5 is an 11.
You got a 12.
I think I have one edge left from the battle.
Okay.
Just want to make sure. Yes, I spent all 3 of my my plot points. I had 1 left. All right. Should I reroll both or just 1? What do you think, y'all?
I think you got to reroll both. You're on the bottom half of 1, 2, 3 instead of 4, 5, 6.
True.
I mean, yeah.
Fuck it.
You only tie if you hit a 4, so 6.
6 plus 5 is still an 11.
No. Yeah, so he kind of nods and just looks like a little surprised to hear that your estate, like, obviously this is intel he didn't have, so he was surprised to hear it. And there's definitely no other part to this. And he says, Xenia, okay, all right. And then he's like looking between his political ally, whose estate is far from here, and the guy whose estate is right here, but who's clearly sees him as an enemy, and is trying to make the decision as to which location is the better one. he's doing the math in his head, like whoop, whoop, and you could see it in his eyes, the sociopathic level of calculation as to which one's better. Do you guys have any vote on the situation? Like, I don't think Jasper's going to give up the Heartlands.
Yeah, I
That's
think
why Lachlan posed the question. He wants to see what the other 2 have as reaction.
I think I would give up the Heartlands because this is more important. The Heartlands are less important than Hiroka. I'm sorry, than Winnington.
Willington, yeah. I think the only concern Anko would look at the Dragoon from. I don't know if it's within vision of here, but
You look at the tent flap and it's still smoking.
Yeah. My only concern is that would abandon this here as I would not be able to take it into the next mission.
We can just hide it in a silo somewhere or stash it among the Agromechs.
That is fair.
If we're all in agreement, then here's what I suggest. So long as Jasper gives permission, I don't mean to presume, have your men rest until they can get back on their feet. I can understand what fighting a battle for 24 hours must be like. I wouldn't have them rush off just a second. And once you're ready, you can consolidate forces with Xenia. She's done an excellent job making sure that we don't fall to pieces as we retreat across the planet.
That's good to hear. You know, I was her teacher.
Lachlan just cannot help but roll his eyes. he tries so hard not to. He's like, I'm trying to make friends with this guy.
Yes, he's trying to bond with you over a common moment while also taking credit for the thing he did.
He just so like Lachlan like I think maybe it's like the half eye roll. It's like where somebody realizes they're rolling their eyes halfway through and like stops themselves and then he just like yes, I believe I did know that. Anyway. Is everyone all right with this plan?
Yeah.
I think it is the wisest that we have for now.
When I swore an oath to all of Winnington, not just the Hiroka and the Heartlands.
Okay, yeah, like he gives you a look there, like, this is what I wanted to hear. If only you weren't so, Kerensky-ish. This is the guy we need. He asks you for your mech's technical codes, Anko. So this won't activate the weapons or the fusion engine, but it will allow it'll allow it to walk in low power mode. So his plan is after his men are done repairing, they're going to walk it into a silo and cover it with Hirokan barley and wheat.
Okay.
So the mech will have to be like when it comes out, you're going to have to remove barley and wheat from open critical areas, but it's better than falling into Cretan hands.
Totally. Couldn't I just do that myself right now?
It's going to take hours to park the mech in there and then cover it with wheat.
Yeah. Okay.
Start turning on your mech afterwards, like 17 owls fly out.
What, are the leaves of rat in your cockpit for you?
Yeah, I'm all for that scene. There's a nest in like babies chirping in the cockpit.
I think since like the communications are effectively down, Lachlan would probably write a letter and would like ask if Bassett minded either having one of his people deliver it or giving it over when he gets to Xenia.
He'll deliver it himself personally.
Yeah.
He's going to lead the column in his wolfhound.
It's lots. I don't know that there's like. It's probably just like a lot of like. Here's what's happening on my end. Like trying to make sure that Xenia's in the loop and like has information. But like the most important part is like he's trying to make sure that his wife knows he's okay and wants to know that the kids are okay. And
so he goes to shake your hand, but he gives you the forearm grip man shake.
Nice.
And he says, I will keep your family safe. Your family is my family. Lachlan, I know that sometimes you don't respect me as much as I respect you. Which you know is a lie, because you know he doesn't respect you. But he's saying...
so like, I think like...
You are a Baron of Whittington, and your wife is one of my oldest friends, and you are one of my best political allies. I will keep the Menshikov estate and your family safe.
I appreciate that, Bassett. I understand that there have been a few times we haven't seen eye to eye over the last few months, but I'm glad that in this moment we can both realize that Whittington comes first.
The Seppuku, you can trust her?
Yes.
Is this an earshot of me?
Probably. He doesn't give a shit about you. He thinks you're thinks you're traitorous human scum.
In that case, I think like Lachlan will turn and actually maybe even like look at Anko like while he's saying this. He'll like glance over at her before responding, and he'll say, I'll be frank with both you and with Anko. The reason I did what I did is because I believed in Kuro Seppuku. I believed in the man who saved my life. And I believe that he would not have let his heir be anything other than a defender of Whittington.
I think she gives a small bow of like respect and thank you. And as it were, it seems that the Caretans have been working on this for some time. Unfortunately, we do have old ties to the intelligence.
You're saying community. You're being set up.
Absolutely.
They paint with a vivid brush. You say that you trust her because you trust Kuro, but it is Kuro's misdeeds that leave her to be untrusted. From my point of view, and from the point of view of many among Whittington, I suppose this is your time to prove yourself, Anko. Just know that if you betray these two men, not only will I destroy you, I will hunt down and destroy any who share your blood.
That is fair.
That's fair because there are none that share my blood.
Yeah.
It's literally just Tamari, my cousin. That's it.
There are not many left of the Seppuku family. So it would seem that I have only the rest of you to prove that there is honor in myself.
And frankly, I don't really care if you or the rest of Whittington trust Anko, trust Kuro, trust any of the Seppuku family. If you trust me, then you will believe when I say that I vouch for them. That's all that you need.
Again, she bows with respect to you.
Anyway, if we have nothing else, I think this was a very effective meeting. I think we all have marching orders. I'll take my leave.
He uses his cybernetic claw to grip his rope ladder as he up to his mech cockpit so he can sleep.
I think like
it's like a grappling hook.
I think like as he's going away, like definitely and not in a way that he could hear, but like under his breath, Lachlan's just like, and your hair looks stupid.
Yeah. I think like Anko just like gives a like wry smile because she's standing right next to him.
Love it.
Okay. I believe next week our guest star will be Mr. Big Spoon, who will be joining us as a tanker during a rescue mission.
I love it.
People you'll be rescuing include James Jives.
I knew that it would because you said
It was
important media personality. I was like,
only-
we better go
only
send
one.
James.
There's only one that I care about.
It's also Jock Swift. He's captured 2.
Fuck him.
Well, he can get left behind.
You guys actually liked him during the test battle. Jock Swift
just messing
here.
around.
I didn't like him the moment that I got out of the cockpit and he started
He
trying to
mad-dogged
fucking
you? Yeah.
flame me.
Yeah.
It's really ironic because the last conversation that Lachlan had with James Giles was him grabbing James and being like, if you ever do that, let anyone do that to me again, like kind of thing. So it was not a good last impression.
Question for y'all. How long does it take to align with a mech? Does it take a long time?
Yes.
Like a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, but that week is like you have to take the mech
Intensive.
out personally and use it to get used to the
Right. Okay.
the balance of it. Gyros in this game aren't like balls that swish.
Right.
They're mechanical devices that shift weight around and change the impulse of like I put this much weight into the force of. But yeah, like your brain and the gyro have to come to an agreement as to what put my left foot down with this much force means, and that's what your neuro helmet does, right?
The reason why I asked
you can transfer over your neuro helmet signature from another mech, which is basically what everybody does, but like you'll be a little off until you get adjusted for this.
And also my neuro helmet from the Dragoon is better than other neuro helmets.
Yes. Do you want to take it with you?
I kind of do, and I want to. If I could propose it, like, what's the penalty for like doing something like transferring over to another mech? And
There's not going to be one, especially if you bring the helmet.
Okay.
So the thing about that helmet is that if you close your eyes, the sensor package will give you a 3-dimensional view of what you're seeing around you via your sensors.
Whoa.
There are Starlink pilots that fought with their cockpits closed and their electronics turned off, and they just fought with their brains.
That's awesome.
Trippy.
The technology has been lost.
Yeah.
Not even the clans have that technology, but you do. You have it right here. And that is why, if you have something like Golden Weed Syndrome, this is the only way to pilot a mech, because it's not...
it's not visual.
It does, yeah. Well, it's not that it's visual. It's that it affects the brain in a totally different way than a regular neuro helmet.
The reason why I was asking that was because I was going to propose, like, what kind of mech do you want me to bring? I could bring the Archer, if Locke or Jasper is open to it. That way, we still have the Crab.
You want to bring Philip in his Crab?
If we want to. I mean, right now we're at a disadvantage in forces, so I mean that would be something.
It depends what
You could
Eric's
take the
gonna
Archer.
pilot. Yeah,
I'm taking the Tamari.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah,
that
that makes sense.
like, do we want to take mostly heavy mechs, or does it make sense to take the Hunchback because it's something that's a little bit more throwaway? Because there's a potential that I'm going to be switching to the Grasshopper, and if that's the case, we need someone else to be able to move into the Archer or the Hunchback that we take.
I say go for the Archer, and because we'll still have a Hunchback because Morgan's still with us,
Sure.
and that way we can have Badger and the Crab.
The Crab is like the fastest mech in the whole lance. The Crab is actually the scout. The Hunchback is as fast as the rest of the lance because it's a 4.6. So
I'm actually the slowest thing. Yeah.
What are you, a 3.5?
Yep.
Yeah. So you are. Everyone else has to move at your pace over the land.
But yeah, I guess we can talk about what we want to do with making sure that we can bring all the mechs with us once we leave the compound.
I don't know. Should I? I mean, it doesn't make sense that we would have the Archer ready to go, because otherwise I would bring the Archer. But there's no way the Archer is prepared and ready to go in this time frame.
Well, now there's the Hunchback then.
The Hunchback didn't get us fucked up.
I would say that the Archer can get repaired over the course of 24 hours.
Yeah, but we don't.
I'm willing to say it for this battle. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I know, Eric, but let's say it's a slapdash job. It's dramatic Mechwarrior 3 ass shit.
Okay. Man. Now I have to. I'm bringing the Archer then instead.
Okay.
Oh, instead of the Tamari?
Yeah. The reason is because we need to move fast, and the Tamari is like a defensive weapon.
Oh, got it.
Okay, so you're going to be piloting the sway back then.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
I mean, that's fine. Then I guess it makes sense for me to take the hunchback.
Yep.
And then I'll switch it. I'll just move the helmet over when I get to the grasshopper.
You utilize plug and play technology.
Yep.
The swayback is just basically a media laser machine, so that'll be fun.
I need the USB sounds on my thing. When you get into the mech.
I gotta dang it, I always get it the wrong way. Flip it around. That's why we have the
four-dimensional objects that you have to rotate 3 times to get to the right spot.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
All right. Did you guys have any questions or comments or concerns about this? Because I know I dropped a lot of military information on you. I think you used words like battalion, company, platoon.
I mean, if you could leave somewhat of like a list of just what we know.
Bassett only has generalities, but
okay. I mean, yeah, but like just of the like battalion of this, of that, and that stuff. Because me personally, I was trying to listen to you, but I don't necessarily remember it all.
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm informed of what our options are as far as like what missions we can go in the defense of Whittington.
We have a lot of guests that have lined up. There are 5 guests, and so rather than giving you guys a more free-form sandbox, I think I'd like to chain together guest missions. Because some of the guests
I love that shit.
Yeah,
I love it.
Big Spoon approached me and was like, I want to play a tanker. And I was like, all right, we're going to have to make a mission that would have a tanker in it. So let's talk about convoys.
Yeah. Not every game needs to be XCOM, pick your mission, like fucking bite your nails on what we're saving. Like I'm perfectly happy to be on a nice, fun fucking experience playing with a bunch of guests in a way that you can set. That's awesome.
Honestly, the thing that I'm low-key like in fiction most concerned with right now is that with all of the shit that's happening, Lachlan is not going to have time to deal with the fucking court case he filed until like it's time for the fucking trial. And then everyone's going to be like, wait, what did you do? Like, oh yeah, I haven't had time to tell you guys about this.
Yeah, well, we were invaded, so it's not like...
I thought we were best friends. We did a man shake on the battlefield. You were already having a knife in my back, Brutus? I put my life on the line to save your family, your wife.
Honestly, Lachlan doesn't really care that much about Bassett because it's like, well, you shouldn't have been doing criminal shit. But he definitely wants to warn his wife and like try to control that before it's like, oh, by the way, I'm trying to get your best friend from forever thrown in jail. Have fun.
That's Bassett's album name, Criminal Shit. Volume 1.
Cool.
I think my question for you, AP, is there a way for us to recover the Stuka? Because technically there's no pilots that I know of.
You will need a pilot, yeah.
Like
Tony, there's a guest star willing to fly a Stuka. Look, hey, don't give me that. I don't know yet. We still have people coming in, okay?
There's plenty of games.
Hey, wait. Can it be like someone that was a mercenary that held up at the Supaku family when the spaceport got destroyed or the mercenary place got destroyed? Just saying. Whoever wants to play that.
Pondo signed up to be an antagonist and take the battlefield on the far side of you guys. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Of course you did.
I've already made my opinion clear. Anyone is allowed to do that except Grimdark James.
Actually, Grimdark James already signed up to do that. He said, I am Grimdark James. I eat rules and shit victory.
I say he is not allowed to be on the other team. I don't like it.
He was a guest antagonist on A Time of Total Warfare, and he barely lost.
Oh no!
He concentrated on.
That's why I'm saying I don't want that.
I played all of the support forces during the battle, and he killed all of my guys. All of them. I had like 8 infantry transports, and one of them retreated off the battlefield. And the players' mechs looked great the whole time. They were like, "Yeah, we're slaughtering the enemy." And I'm like, "That's because I'm the one dying. We're all dead."
Please, I'm so cold.
Awesome.
I have theories as to who maybe is of the nightmare now.
Who maybe is in the nightmare?
Yeah, I wonder who's.
Alrighty.
I wonder who's part of the nightmare. I wonder.
You wanna break us in on those theories, because I'm sure the fans are gonna have theories too.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Give me your theory.
Yeah. So I mean, the two standing people that have potentially signed up for that would be Pondo, and then obviously
I
Grimdark.
assure you that Nightmare is not either of the any of the guests.
It's
okay.
Shinji. It's the
that makes sense.
It's that's his name, right?
It's a possibility, but I would point out he sent his.
What would be more badass would it be Haru? Just fucking. She's here for revenge.
Yeah, that's fair.
Two AC-20s.
You know that Haru is on the planet, right? Because she's leading the invasion publicly. Is she the pilot? Who knows? I can't wait to hear how the Darth Jonna theory is that this is actually Jonna von Hohenheim.
Oh, no.
You know, I love the Darth Jonna theory.
That would be amazing.
The thing is, I don't think it's true as the GM, but there's no evidence to rebuff it at any point because no one ever talks to her. So the fact that she might actually sue, you cheated on her with work.
Well, that's not true entirely. We've talked about this.
There's nothing to refute the Darth Jonna theory. She could secretly be evil, and that would be an amazing heel turn.
It really would.
Any final thoughts before we call it for today?
No, thanks.
Good session.
Good game, guys.
All right. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should be good.
We'll be back next week. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.